Issue 46, Combat Patrol. 2 new paints. Hello and welcome to The Lucky Roll, an eclectic channel for eclectic games, and today we're going to be looking at issue 46 of our continuing series of Hachette Collection's Combat Patrol. Now this issue comes with 2 paints, a Stormhost Silver and a Knight Questor Flesh. Now this is an interesting issue because it works on techniques of painting, more specifically highlighting, and I was having a look at it and I'm actually quite impressed at the skills that come out in this issue. It shows you quite well how to kind of highlight and edge highlight bits and pieces of the brush. It shows you in a good way how to do it, and it's I have to say this is an impressive guide for a magazine that's just €13. I mean, you can see here now it goes into nice detail on faces as well. Now, I mean, these are all, of course, tips and tricks you can find on YouTube and things like that, but to actually have it here in a kind of a handy reference point is quite good, because it's not the way I paint my Ultramarines, but I see an awful lot of painters that would kind of use the Calgar blue edge highlight on a lot of their Space Marines, and it always does look very well. It gives them a nice, new, cool sheen aspect to them, and they end up looking very well. So it teaches you how to do it here. Of course, you can use it with the Stormhost Silver, which is one of the paints here, to kind of give a little bit of an edge highlight to things like lead and weapons, things like that. I mean, even here you can see for the Chaplain's Bike that you can kind of put a metallic little sheen. I tend to just use a dry brush for mine, but nevertheless, I'm impressed that this issue has gone into this level of detail. So your Ultramarines will actually end up looking very well with the guides in this issue. The same thing here with your Aldari, and of course it shows you how to use some of the Calgar Blue, the Stormhost Silver, and the Knight Questor Flesh for things such as pads. So again, you can kind of get a nice little bit of work done. There's an interesting little thing here on the orcs, kind of their brutal but cunning aspects. So again, as I've said before, they're either cunning but brutal or brutal but cunning. So you kind of face a huge mob of aggression, but just because that they're big and tough and eager for a fight does not mean that they're not smart. So they'll use different aspects of war. You have the squiggly beasts, which are kind of, normally orcs would just eat squigs, but some of the bigger squigs they would kind of mount or would grow into things called squiggots, which are just huge monster things. But so they're not averse to having mounts. They have things that are like dreadnoughts. Sometimes they call them death dreads, things like that. But they're, as it says there, they're generally huge and stumpy. So they just make it bigger, better, badder, and just stompier. And of course, bigger is always the thing for them. So in orc society, it's always the biggest orc that's in charge, and they always kind of bully the smaller ones. So the only thing smaller than an orc would be a Gretchen, and the only thing smaller than a Gretchen would be a Snotling. And the poor old Snotlings have no one to bully. So you have here some core rules as well in terms of only war, and you have some Aldari Combat Patrol rules where they talk about enhancements and stratagems. And you have also the same thing here for the Chaos Space Marines. So giving you again a little bit of kind of aspects on, say, the Dark Pacts, which is one of their stratagems. The next issue, of course, is going to be an interesting one because it comes with 3 Death Copters. Now, these things I have never made before, and I'm very much looking forward to trying them. Nevertheless, that is issue 46. It comes with 2 kind of edge highlighting paints and quite an impressive paint guide. So, as always, if you enjoy these videos, please like, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. And until next time, this is Sean, signing off.